All right, welcome to the weekend video. This is enda here. It's been a while, could be 3 weeks or so since I uploaded the last time. Anyway, I'm back. It doesn't really matter. Uh, I am going to, well, first of all, let me show you my website. I have been active on the website anyway. So if you do want nightly Elliott wave analysis, come to bullwaves.org and check out the membership options, or drop me an email, info@bullwaves.org. Right, okay. Without further ado, it's August already, and the summertime is going like the summertime usually does go. It's pretty labored, and volume has crashed to the ground. But anyway, let's get into the markets, and we will see where we stand right now. Let's start with the dollar FX. So this is euro dollar. We were looking for a turn of a three-wave rally to a new high. So we got this three-wave rally to a new high in wave B. And we have at least a reasonable turn to the downside so far. There's a couple of different options of how this could be labeled, and I'll show you that on the short-term chart. But so far, it seems that we are creating kind of a head and shoulders pattern here. Probably a second wave top coming in here before turning down into a third wave. I'm looking at this as, wave 1 and 2 to begin wave 1 down. So we should see 5 waves down, probably to retrace towards the B wave low here about 106 in wave 1. That's kind of my base case scenario for the moment. Let's get to the hourly chart and I'll show you where we stand right now. So looking at a possible small little 1-2 decline here, probably leading wedge, and then an extended wave 3. So we've got wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in wave 3. Correction higher wave 4. Nice smack down in wave 5. So this is possibly wave 1 and now wave 2 underway. There is obviously there is a way that you could count this slightly different. You could go this wave 1, 2, and wave 1 and 2. It still puts you within wave 3, pink. So it's kind of a distinction without a difference, to be honest. So we've got 5 waves down. We're creating probably an expanded flat correction here in wave 2. That's what I've been looking at. So I was looking at a kind of a target of about 110.50 to complete wave C. We're almost there. So let's see if we get a break of 110.50 today, and then a turn lower into wave 3. It would be nice to have that turn lower begun even before the close this evening, but we'll see how it goes. Early next week, I will be looking for a turn down into wave 3 of 1. And that will be wave 3 of 1 of wave C. So overall, I'm looking for a second wave decline into wave C, and probably looking back somewhere around 102 to complete this decline. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, so here is the count for cable. You can see previously I had a target set at 161, 162% extension, so at about 129.60. We popped above that, and now we've reversed pretty impulsively, I think, so far. You could take a couple of different views on how this internal pattern is tracing out here. I'll show you on the short-term chart, but that could change by this evening. We'll see how it goes. Suffice to say, I think we're getting close to confirming the idea that we have a wave 2 top complete, and we should be turning down into a third wave down. The best thing to happen from here on out is if we accelerate lower and we break the previous fourth wave low at 123, then I'd be looking at 118 again. So we've got a lot of work to do here, but we have at least the beginnings of a turn. And that's something. When you're looking for a turn, it's nice to have at least the beginnings of a turn. So that's the wave 2 top here. You can see I've counted 5 waves down in wave 1 and 2. And now, depending on how you count this, I mean, maybe I've stretched this a little bit to get wave 3 at yesterday's low, at Thursday's low. We've got 3 waves up so far. There's not going to be wave 4. Last night I was suggesting that we should not see a break of that 127.60 level. We did. So now we've moved on to the other alternate interpretation, which is we've got a 1, 2, wave 3 done, although it's not perfect. We've got 3 waves up into wave 4, so I'd like to see another turn down in wave 5. There is another way that you could view this, which would be you just simply move out your 1 and 2 again. So it's a series of 1, 2s. We've got wave 1 and 2, and then probably wave 1 and 2 to begin wave 3 down. So again, I think this will probably clarify itself early next week. But suffice to say, I think we still need, no matter which way you want to internally label this, I think we still need an acceleration lower to break that 125.88 low. So that's the previous fourth wave low. 125.88 is the target for wave 1 in green. Anyway, no matter what happens. Okay, so dollar yen, we have a turn up, and again, we kind of have that series of 1-2s maybe underway here. There is an alternate count that it flips this count on its head completely, that we've got 3 waves up in a second wave. I haven't preferred that count yet, because basically of the larger wave count here. And then you can see that that's the alternate count there. On the daily count, you can see we've got a wave 1 down, wave 2 up, maybe a wave 1 and 2 again. If we do get an acceleration lower again, then I'll have to switch to this alternate count. But for the moment, I don't actually favor that interpretation. Okay, so we've got a wave 3 top, a wave 4 low, a possible 1-2-1-2. That's very possible, and maybe even I'll switch that tonight. I don't know. But we've got 3 waves down today into a low. At the moment I'm counting this as a fourth wave. Maybe if we turn higher again, that'll be wave 5 of 3. This could also be counted as, if we go to the flip side of what I showed you in cable, this could be counted as a wave 1 and 2. So if it's a wave 1 and 2, then we get an acceleration in third wave, a third of a third wave. If it's we've got wave 1, 2, 3. If this is a fourth wave low, then we should get an acceleration in wave 5 of 3. So either way, we pretty much must turn higher to break at 145 to confirm this wave count. So that's what I would be looking for. The alternate count here, let's get some boxes on that just to define it as an alternate count. So if the alternate count is correct, then we could decline a little bit further, towards 140 before accelerating. But I wouldn't like to go see any lower than that, to be quite honest. Anyway, that's the idea from here. I would like to see another turn up in wave 3. Now let's get a gulp of coffee. Here is the 4-hour count in the Dow. You can see that wedge pattern throw over towards the top, and now we seem to be, at least we've run out of momentum, upside momentum, which is, it's a start. We definitely had that momentum divergence from, let's say, the last 10 days of July. Momentum divergence happened, and that kind of did frame the top. It's still not clear whether this is an actual orthodox top or it's just a correction before creating an orthodox top and then turning lower again. Well, we'll have to see on that one. We did break out to a new high in wave 5. So that, we've got the wave 3 top there at we've got the wave 3 top at 35,000 callers. We broke out to a new high in wave 5, so that kind of classifies it as a final top for a fifth wave. What we haven't seen is the reversal. So that's this is the daily count here. I'll go to the daily count. Why not? We've got the 78.6 retracement. We've got wave 1 down in expanding wedge. Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Expanding wedge, wave 1. ABC up in wave 2. Wave B, clear 3-wave pattern. We've got 5 waves in a possible wedge. In wave C, we've got a tag at that 78.6, well, a breakthrough of the 78.6 retracement. We're kind of sitting more or less at that 78.6 retracement level right now. And it has formed a top the three previous times. So let's call it April 22, the wave A top back in December 22, and now we are at that level right again. After 3 waves up, mind you. So, we're too close to the top here now not to expect to turn down. So we need to have, or I need to see an impulsive reversal begin pretty darn soon. Now you can see I have charted 5 waves up here in wave 5 of C. The alternate count here obviously is wave 1 and 2, an extension in wave 3, 3 waves down in wave 4, which would require a turn up in wave 5. But we haven't got that so far. We've got the open on Friday. It's now, we're probably close to 2 hours open in New York. So, it's pretty flat so far. It looks pretty corrective, to be honest, this week. If we expand that out a bit, pretty sideways. Sorry, in the last couple of days, it does look like 3 waves up, to be quite honest. So maybe, maybe we've got some sort of a corrective lower high building here before accelerating lower. That's what I would really like to see, to be quite honest. But a break below that previous wave 3 low is what I've been pointing at this week, 34,575. Maybe it happens today. Who knows? Let's move on to gold. Here's the pattern in gold. Either we have a wave B top in right now, or we will build a wave B top pretty soon. I'll show you that on the short-term chart. But for the moment, suffice to say, I've said that a lot this video, there is a possibility that we have a larger 3-wave pattern building in wave B, which would create that bearish lower high, and then would accelerate lower into wave C. So it's unclear as of yet whether wave B is done or wave B is coming. Go to the hourly count. Here's the alternate count. So that'd be 3 waves up in wave A, more or less 3 waves down in wave B at the early morning low or the overnight low, and then we would rally higher in wave C. So that's again a 3-wave correction to a lower high in wave B, and then we'd look for a decline into wave C. So for the moment, I am tracking this 3-wave pattern as wave B in green complete, and then possibly 5 waves down wave 1, maybe an expanded flat wave, or sorry, running flat wave 2. I know it's a bit of a stretch. So that could be a 1-2. This could be a 1-2 building here again. I have updated this count from last night. So we could be talking about wave 1 of 3, wave 2 of 3 now getting close to complete. Should be complete by this evening. And then wave 3 of 3 next week. Overall, I'm looking for a C wave decline. So a larger C wave decline to complete wave 2 back around 1700, 1720, somewhere around that. Most likely a break of 1800 again anyway. But that you can see here pretty clear 3 waves down. That's what I'm looking for. How that actually breaks out internally is really that's the question from here on out. Do we get that larger B wave before turning down, or is this wave C now underway? I think we should be able to answer that early next week, depending on how this correction higher goes in the next day or so. Okay, crude oil. We have pretty much a stall of a rally over the last couple of days. We had a nice, punctuating move lower, impulsive looking move lower. We fell back to the trend channel line again, and then spiked yesterday to create a very small lower high. So there is still the possibility that we have a wave 1 down, 3 waves up to wave 2. It's very close. Excuse me. It's very close to the bone here, quite close to the invalidation mark. We'll get into the hourly count, and I'll show you there. 83.38 is that invalidation level. Excuse me. So we've got a possible wave 1 down, maybe 3 waves up in wave 2. I don't know. We're pretty stagnant today so far, so we'll see. It'll depend on what happens today. If we reverse lower again, then we're pretty much on track to create 5 waves down next week in wave 1 of 3. That's what I would be looking for. Okay, so let's move on. The S&P, pretty similar count. The S&P, the top for wave 5, depending on where you take it from. The top for wave 5 came in just above the 62% retracement, or sorry, the 62% extension of wave 1. So if we take wave 5 here, the size of wave 5 is just above 62% the size of wave 1. So We've got wave 1, 2, 3, running flat, wave 4 possibly, and wave 5. A nice tag of the upper trend line there as well, and then a turn lower. Not enough to, build a, how would you say, a strong thesis here anywhere just yet. We've got a drift lower so far. The market has not proved itself as an impulsive move lower just yet. So we really got to get lower pretty quickly over the next week anyway, in order to prove a reversal into a wave 1 of 3. So this would be wave 1 of 3, if you catch my drift. A full retracement of the previous fourth wave, so that'll be the left shoulder, let's say, the head, and then a right shoulder building in wave 1 and 2. So I'm looking for a nice retracement of the previous fourth wave, somewhere down around 4,300, 43.20 maybe, and 5 waves down to do just that. So we'll see how today's trade goes. It's a little bit lower off the open, or you could call it pretty much flat off the open today. Let's see. The market seems to be waiting for something. I don't know. Is there a data release coming? Most likely. So we're at a hinge point here. Let's see if we can confirm or deny a top next week. Here is silver. We have rolled over in silver. Here's the 4-hour count. I haven't updated it in a week, I'd say. Overall, looking for wave C of 2 to come down somewhere down around 21, maybe 2,500 or something like that. Or sorry, 2050, maybe $21. That would be a safe decline. Initially, the initial target would be a break of this intermediate low here, about $22. So at a minimum, I'd like to see a break of $22. The internal pattern here has yet to be confirmed, but I would like to see much further downside, to be quite honest. I'm showing a possible 1-2 pattern, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we're tracing out a 5-wave pattern within wave 3. Again, we could be talking about a running flat wave 2, and this is a 1-2 pattern again to begin wave 3. So much like actually count in the Dow, to be honest, or sorry, count in gold, to be honest. But I do need much more downside here to begin, or to be more sure, more certain of the turn down in wave C. And that's what I'm looking for early next week. Okay, is that silver done? SP done? Wow, I kind of punched through that quite quickly. I think I'll go to the NASDAQ. The German market was interesting enough. A reasonably impulsive move off that top in Germany. The NASDAQ, again, a reasonably impulsive looking set of moves. Maybe it's a kind of a stair stepping down into a 1-2, 1-2 pattern. But again, we have not challenged. We've basically bounced to the previous third wave high at the moment. We have not broken the previous fourth wave low. So that's 14, call it 14,690 at the previous fourth wave low. And that would be where you would get confirmation of a reversal pattern in the NASDAQ. That's about it. I usually do Bitcoin, but there's not a whole lot happening in Bitcoin. We've drifted sideways to the downside. We drifted basically sideways for, a month and a half, almost 2 months. Almost 6 weeks we drifted sideways, and then popped to a new high in wave 5. So we're getting the kind of the mirror image of that pattern right now, on the right side. Maybe it's a small head and shoulders pattern building. I don't know. This could be 5 waves down. It could be 1, 2, 3, a long fourth wave, and then a fifth wave down. It's very hard to know. I can't really make a whole lot of sense of what's happening right there. Is it a consolidation before building higher again? You could make that argument too. That's quite, that's your prerogative to make that argument if you like. So far, we may have a head and shoulders pattern building before we turn down again. We'll have to see how it goes. As for short-term realities and long-term realities. The markets are very short-term, and that is basically what we've been tracking, or I do track every day. It's short-term, hour to hour, day to day, minute to minute. How we value our own productive capacity. At the moment, we value it way over and above and beyond what it is actually worth. You could say we do that also for our moral value. We value our moral stance before God way, way far higher than we should view it, because none of us are righteous before God on our own merits. It's impossible to be righteous before God on your own merits. The Lord God did say that he would send a Messiah to sort out our righteousness. And he did that in the person of Jesus Christ. What you do with Jesus Christ is what you do with, let's say, your stance on Jesus Christ is what determines your eternal stance with God. Because doing a video, sorry, I have to sort out my 4-year-old. What you do with the name Jesus Christ, that's what sorts out your eternity. And right now, most people they just brush it off. They don't acknowledge him. They don't value what he did. They don't take into account their own, their own stance before God. We do not have a stand before God, and that's why he gave us a Messiah. We like to trust in our own good works. We like to think that we are good people, but we're not. If you honestly take a step back from yourself and your actions throughout the day, and the amount of evil thoughts that go through your head, and the amount of evil things that we do, you're not good. You're not righteous before God. And if you die in that state, then you have what's coming to you, eternal separation from God. But just like, one man broke the relationship between God and man, that was Adam. One man restored the relationship between God and man. And that was Jesus, Yeshua, on that cross. He paid the price for your sin if you believe in him. So just surrender yourself to God and say, I believe, Jesus has paid the price for my sin. And I trust in that, Lord. And then go and follow. Pick up the word of God and read it. And let the Holy Spirit guide you. You don't need a priest. It's your allegiance, your decision on your allegiance, your eternal allegiance. Who are you going to be allied to? Who are you going to be aligned with? Do you align yourself under Adam and the fallen king of this world, Hasatan, the adversary? Or do you align yourself under the repairer, the redeemer, the savior, Yeshua, Jesus Christ, the Messiah? So pick your allegiance. It's the most important thing that you will do in your life. No one else laid down their life for you. Only he did. And with that, I will leave you for another week, and I'll be back next week, hopefully. And, sort out your eternity first, and then enjoy the day before you. All right. God's blessings to you. See you next week. Bye-bye.